Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today, inshallah, we are going to talk about the creating a compositions inside After Effects, and then, inshallah, we are going to discuss in details a lot of things related to text layer inside After Effects. First of all, we need to create a composition as usual. Can specify the name, the resolution, the frame rate, and then hit OK. And here we have, after we create the new composition, we have one composition. Inside it, we can add any layer we want. For example, scene 1. Let me change the color. We don't need a stroke for this text, but I need to increase the size. For example, make it bold. When I have the this transform icon behind the cursor, I can move it inside the scene. And let me create another. Let me create a solid. For example, red. Composition, usually we use them to group the layers inside compositions, and by using compositions it will make the work inside After Effects more easier. And if we want to apply a specific effect to a group of layers, we can apply it to the composition, and will reduce the time to and effort while working inside After Effects. Let me create another text. Scene 2, for example. I will put it here, and then I'm creating another solid. For example, let us make it green. And then I'm hitting OK. Now I have 4 layers. I want to make 2 of them, each 2 of them, one text with one solid inside a composition. I need to select them, and then click on keyboard, Control with Shift with C to create a new composition. And here, let me name it Scene 1. And then I'm hitting OK. And for those 2, I can click on keyboard, as I said, Control with Shift with C, or I can click on right and choose pre-compose to collect them or to put them inside a new composition. Here I can name it, for example, Scene 2, and then I'm hitting OK. Now I have 2 scenes. I can slice them or split them inside the timeline. I can split them based on the this cursor. We call it current time indicator. This indicates where we are inside the timeline. For example, in 6 seconds, I'm going to split both of them by clicking on Control with Shift with D, or going here inside the edit and select split layer to split them. And here, for example, I want to start with scene 1, so I'm keeping this. I don't need this from scene 2, and here I don't need scene 2. Now I have 2 composition. The scene 1 here contain the scene 1 text with the solid, red solid, and the second one contain the scene 2 with the green solid, but I need to arrange them inside the composition 2, the second composition. If I want to make any modification inside them, I need to double click on them, then go inside, and here inside the other composition, I can add anything I want inside it, and it will appear here based on the timeline. Of course, it's very important to focus on the timeline, For example, here the second scene will start at the at 6 seconds. So if I want to add anything or make an animation, it must be after the 6 seconds, because anything before will not appear on the main composition. I want to rename the comp1. For example, I can name it main comp. As I said, inside them, I can add anything. For example, here I can add another text. Hi, for example, I can drag it. As I said, if this layer is before the 6 seconds, will not appear inside the main. Why is that? Because the scene 2 or the second composition start here based on the indicator start after 6 seconds. So here inside it, if I split the scene, I delete this, I came back here, and then inside it, I will not see the high text, because it's appearing here inside this area, and inside this area the scene 2 is not available. It start appearing in 6 seconds, as I said. If I move it, for example, here in main composition, it will appear. This is in basics the concept of compositing, or making grouping the layers inside composition. As I said, it's very helpful to use them while working inside After Effects. Of course, I can add more. I can split the second composition as I need. This is the first part of my video, of this tutorial. The second part will be about the text. Let me try to add a new text here. For example, welcome to After Effects. If I have this text, there's a lot of attributes and parameters I can fix or modify or adjust to manipulate the text to make the text more attractive. For example, here inside inside the text menu in the right, I can modify a lot of tools here. And if you didn't find the text window or controllers here, you can go to window, make sure inside the workspace, make sure that you are choosing the default, for example, and then hit on reset. It will reset, and this window will appear here. The details, you can show these details, the other controllers, by pressing on these 3 dots. It will show you all the controllers related to texts and paragraphs. Here the text, of course, I can change the font. I can change the style for the font. I can change the size. I can change the leading, which means the spaces between the lines. I can change the kerning, the spaces between 2 letters or characters inside the text, or I can change the tracking, the spaces between all the letters. And there's a lot of other attributes you can use. For example, this will make the text that you are selecting as a power, 2 to the power, or a number to the power. It will appear up to the up. For example, if I click on this one, we call it subscript. If I click on it again to disable it, I can use them. I have here controllers for paragraph. For example, the adjust the alignment will be if I want it to be left or center or right. I can specify the spaces between the edges and the text, or I can change the direction for the text. For example, if I'm working with Arabic or English, I can select between of them. Of course, here in another window, or another, yes, in another window, we have the alignment. We can put the text exactly in the center or top, left, right. We can use them to align the text exactly in a specific position inside the scene. This is about the text controllers that we have here in the right. I can add some stroke to this text. For example, I'm choosing the green. I need to select the text, of course, first, and then I need to enable the stroke. For example, I'm selecting the green, and I have this text. If I want to add a new line, I can press on Shift with Enter. For example, Adobe 2023. I can make them in center. I can align them also in center, exactly. This is about the controller here, as I said. And here inside the text layer, if I click on the arrow to see the details, of course, I have the transform. I can make an animation to these. I can adjust the text from here. I can adjust the position, the scale, the rotation, the opacity. Also, I have the text. If I click on it, the first one, I have the source. For example, if I click on the stopwatch behind the source and go back, for example, to 0, I can here write a new text. For example, hello. Here inside the timeline if I drag the indicator, when I finish the 2 second, the second text will appear. So I can change the text content inside one text layer by enabling the source text stopwatch. This is the first thing we need to discuss. Of course, we have more options related. For example, modes. How can I make this text appear? And here inside the scene, I can change it. And I have the fill and stroke. I have the path here. Also, I have something called animate. If I click on this play icon, I will see many options. For example, I can select any of these and make an animation for it. We have the position, the scale, the rotation, the opacity. We can use them. We have also the skew. I can select the skew from here. For example, I can enable the skew with the axis. And then I'm moving inside the timeline. For example, for almost 1 second, I can change the skew axis with the skew. And then here I can put them back to 0. I can, as I said, I can make animation for the skew. I have other attributes or parameters. I can also create animation based on them. For example, the fill color, I can make animation for the color. I can select, for example, the RGB. Of course, you can try the rest of them. I need to enable the stopwatch. Inside the timeline, I can move and then I can change the color. And you can see now I have an animation to the color. Also, I can add the stroke, for example. I can choose the RGB also. I can enable the stopwatch. I need to enable the stopwatch if I want to create an animation. And here I can change it, for example, to green. And now you can see I have animation to the stroke color and the fill color. Let me try to change the stroke color here at the beginning of the animation. Also, I have, for example, the tracking. As I said, the spaces between the letters, I have the spaces. Let us try the tracking, for example. I can increase it. I can decrease it again, for example. As I said, inside the fill the stroke, we have other options you can try. We have the spacing, we have the anchor, we have also the blur. I can make the text blurry. I can move inside the timeline. Here, I can put it back to 0. And this is an animation, a blur animation to the text. As I said, all of them, you can find them here inside the animatic. We have the regular one, the scale, the position, the rotation, the opacity. We have the fill. We can make the an animation to the color, to tracking, to blur. All of these we can apply them and make an animation to them inside After Effects. Also, we can use effects to this layer by using the effect menu. For example, I can use the transition. Let us try the scale Y, for example. Here inside the effect control, you will see the controllers related to this effect. I can select the stretch here, enable the stopwatch. I can move inside, I can change the stroke for it. Let us check. Okay, I can make it down. Okay, I'm just trying. Okay, usually I need to try first to see exactly what I need. And here I need to apply also the center, enable the stopwatch to the center. For example, I need to drag it. Inside the timeline, I need to move, and then I need to put back the anchor, move it to the right. I enabled, as I said, I enabled the center and stretch for this scale, for this effect, the direction, the rotation, and I change it to down. And here I can click on this to show the keys. I created all the keys. And here I can move to the first key I created. I can move it more. Of course, here before I need to duplicate this key to put it back before the effect to make the other keys, the other animation I created is not affected by this effect. and then by using this effect, I made the text disappear, and then start appearing again. Of course, there's a lot of effects inside the effects. You can try them. And this is about the applying an effect to the text layer. You can try, as I said, you can try them. And this is about the text in general, how to manipulate the controller, how to make some animations inside it, how to apply an effect for it. And thank you.